Hi guys, what is going on and welcome back to my channel. It has been over a week since I have recorded. I am so sorry guys. I was honestly on a roll with being really consistent with YouTube for the first time in a while, and obviously over the last like 10 days or so I took a break from recording. If I'm honest, I've just been in a little bit of a funk, you know, with everything that's going on right now. Obviously my prep series has come to an end for now. There will be another prep series. I'm going to be continuing it once all this passes, and once we're all back to normal life, I'm going to be getting on stage as soon as I can. So don't worry, we will 100% have another prep series soon, but I'm honestly just trying to get used to my new routine, and yeah, I'm just in a bit of a funk, but I am back. For this video, I basically just wanted to give you an update, tell you my plans and tell you how I am managing without the gym, basically. Obviously, we are all on lockdown right now. I am not leaving the apartment unless I need to for food, and it's obviously been a massive shift for me because I was 6 weeks out when I realised that my competition was cancelled, and especially for a first time competitor, coming out of a competition prep into these circumstances is by no means easy, especially when you have no gym, when there's food everywhere, takeaways are still delivering, and I was obviously really hungry for a few weeks, so temptations were high, and I just kind of wanted to show you the approach I took over the last 2 weeks with these massive changes and how I adapted, because I'm going to be real with you guys, it hasn't been easy, and I don't think it's been easy for anybody that's into fitness or sports, like anybody that had an active lifestyle that is now on lockdown. I feel like we're all struggling a little bit. I'm going to be doing a home workout later, and I wanted to give you a little update basically. I really need to show you this at home DIY tripod business. So I have a press, I have a jewellery box, I have another box that I got bikinis delivered in. It is actually like a tower. First things first anyway guys, I need to have something to eat. I'm absolutely starving. Also, with regards to my food, obviously I'm not cutting anymore because there's no need to. There's absolutely nothing to be cutting for right now for me. So I am in my rebound phase basically. It's like the first 6 to 8 weeks after prep. My coach calls it the rebound phase, and he increased my calories on rest days and training days by 200. So I'm currently sitting at around, I'd say it's just below my maintenance calories to be honest, because I'm still quite hungry on these calories. So I'm now on 1700 on rest days and 1900 on training days, and we're going to be gradually increasing these calories over the next few weeks. So it is currently 20 to 1, and all I've had today was my rice cakes and peanut butter this morning. So I'm about to have like my first proper meal now. So I'm gonna have some chub pudding. I put this on my story the last time, and all my American followers were so confused. They were like, what the hell is that? So it's basically just white pudding, but the macros are really good. I don't know if this is focused or not, but per 100 gram there's 118 calories, 3.1 fat, 0.2 carb, and 22.4 protein. Like, that is so good, and it tastes just like regular white pudding. I have been adding this into like my breakfast tin in the morning, and I'm also going to have 2 turkey rashers, a tin, and some butter and a cup of tea. So I have 100 grams of this pudding, so it's like 3 kind of thick pieces, and I'm going to be air frying it. I'll put those on for maybe like 13 minutes at 170. Should do it. And this is today's breakfast. So I have 2 burnt turkey rashers, my pudding. I have a bit of light butter on my tins as well because I just can't eat them dry. I think it's disgusting. I'm also going to put a little bit of 50% less sugar ketchup on this and dig in. What's your plan anyway, Gar?
My plan is to get to 300 pounds. I just need to grow, like, you know, too skinny. I also need a barber in my life.
Your hair isn't too bad. Like, I've seen guys' hair that's way worse than that.
We actually had a discussion the other day whether Caroline should cut my hair or not.
I think I do a great job. I'll give you a mohawk. So Gary's current goal is to get to 300 pounds and then cut down again.
Yeah, because 300 pounds would be absolutely outrageously massive. My peak weight last year was 265.
I don't want to be friends with you if you're 300 pounds. Like, that's actually a nuisance.
I will get there, it's just a matter of time. Like.
But like, what about me? I have to hang around with this guy that's 300 pounds all the time.
A legend. Like, 300 pound legend.
You're getting your own bedroom, I swear to God. I'm not sleeping with someone. Like, technically you're going to be morbidly obese. Oscar misses lifting so much that he's sleeping with dumbbells. Apollo Fitness sent me out some like at-home equipment, and I haven't put it away, and Oscar always just chills in the beanbag, and that just happens to be where the dumbbells are. I hope they don't roll down on you. Will I move them? Show me a better love story than Oscar and these dumbbells. I should really put these away, but I have been using them every day, so I'm just kind of leaving them out. Do you want your breakfast too, Oscar? Oh, okay. I'll take that as a yes. So when we were about 3 or 4 days into quarantine, I decided to rearrange the apartment because I just felt like I needed a new space. And even though I'm obviously in the exact same place, it's a lot more spacious. And honestly guys, if you feel like you're cracking up at the moment at home, I would definitely recommend rearranging your furniture. I know it sounds like such a small kind of weird thing to do, but it actually made a massive difference to me mentally. It felt like I was in a new space and it was just really refreshing. So I'm going to show you the new setup. So I obviously moved the table from up near the window to here, and it actually makes a lot more sense to be right next to the kitchen. Obviously just ignore this massive DHL box. I got deliveries this morning, but having a table here makes a lot more sense, to be honest, because I never really used it. I always found myself just eating on the couch because it was closer to the kitchen. But now that I have it right next to the kitchen, I'm preparing my meals, eating them here. And I'm a lot more inclined to put my dishes away after me, seeing as the dishwasher is just here. So I really do like this little setup. Since quarantine, we actually got a spin bike as well. So this is just a second-hand one that we picked up locally. It's honestly pretty well worn, to be honest. Like, there's some rust on it, so it's definitely been used, but it works perfectly, and they're actually quite expensive, like full price new. I'm pretty sure this style, when I looked it up, was like £800, and we got it for €200, and it works perfectly. So I was delighted with this little purchase because obviously I'm going to be walking every day whenever I can, but actually being able to do cardio at home while I'm watching TV and stuff is really, really nice. I actually spoke about getting a treadmill when I was on prep because I hated going to the gym twice a day, so I think this will definitely come in handy as well when I start prep again, because at the moment I'm only doing like 15-20 minutes on this daily. And obviously I moved the two couches side by side. We have the beanbag as well over here. Obviously just ignore the weights on the floor, I just had nowhere to put them. But I moved the beanbag, which is Oscar's bed, next to the window, and I also have my desk right next to the window, and it honestly feels like a whole new workspace. I love that it's bright. Obviously I can't like edit there because you're meant to be like in a dark room when you're editing, but when I'm doing emails and client work, being next to the window made such a massive difference, especially because we're getting some sun the last few days. I know it's pretty grey outside today, but it has been sunny, we've been lucky. And I moved the TV over here, so I used to have the beanbag here and the TV here, and then the couches were like in an L, but I have a lot more space with this setup and I absolutely love it. I also completely decluttered the spare bedroom. Honestly guys, if ye saw the state of this room, I would actually be ashamed of my life. Like, this is the room that I was just putting my clothes in and putting my deliveries in, and I really let it go. Like, it was disgraceful. So I cleared everything, got all my clothes into the wardrobe, put together some charity bags of clothes as well, and Billy is absolutely delighted that he has a clean workspace now. So those are two things you can do, guys. We all have plenty of time on our hands at the moment, and I feel like I'm not alone when I say we all have at least one cupboard or one room or one corner of the house that everything just builds up in. Whether it's clothes or just shit we don't use anymore, we all have it. So now is a great time to just tackle that. And as I said, if you feel like you're going absolutely crazy like I felt being in the same space every day, then change it around. Move your furniture. You don't need to buy new furniture. Sometimes all you need to do is switch things around, give it a clean, give it a dust, and it feels like a completely new space. Right guys, so I am going to have a chatty now about the actual title of today's video, which is how to stay in shape without a gym, or like just stay on track in general in times like this. These are some of the tips and tricks that I have implemented into my own routine, and I've honestly found them super effective. In times like this, your mindset is literally everything, and it really will separate the strong from the weak when it comes to how well you can adapt to difficult situations. And honestly guys, I think if you're able to adapt and overcome and still progress in times like this, it will be so easy when the gyms open again and when we get back, because if you can improvise in situations like this, we'll honestly think it's so simple. When we have everything in place and when we're not restricted at all, it'll be so simple for us. So if you nail the next couple of weeks, I can guarantee when you get back to your normal routine, you will be like, why did I ever complain or struggle in the first place? Which is a good thing in a way. It really does put things into perspective. So my first piece of advice would be to have a plan in place for every single day. I feel like when the gyms are are open and when we're not so restricted, it is easier to stay on plan. Whereas when you're sitting at home all day, it's definitely easier to just get lazy, especially if you don't have a plan in place. Like if you wake up and if you don't have an idea of what you want to do that day, it would be easy to just end up doing absolutely nothing and then the day is gone. So make sure you have a structured, detailed plan in place of what you want to do, what time you want to do it, and what part of the house you want to do it in. If it was me anyway, and if I didn't have a plan in place for each day, I definitely end up getting really lazy and then feeling shit when I go to bed because I would have done nothing. It's good to stay productive, even if there's not as many things to do as before. There's definitely a lot of things that you've been putting off that you have a lot more time for now. So make sure you're getting pen to paper or even writing it out in your notes at the start of each day, or else if you want to plan a couple of days ahead, just have something in place to keep you on track. My second piece of advice when you are working out from home is to work out in the morning. So normally when people are going to the gym, like my own clients, they often ask me when's the best time to work out, and I wouldn't say there's any particular time that's best. It's normally just the time that suits your schedule best. But if you're working out from home, I think it is very important to get your workout done early, because as the day goes on, it gets easier and easier to just push off your workout. Then you're on the couch that evening, you flicked on Netflix and you just don't want to work out anymore. Whereas if you get up, you get into your gym gear, you have your pre-workout meal and you get your workout done early, it sets you off on the right tone for the rest of the day, and it eliminates that risk factor of you saying, yeah, I'll do it later, I'll do it at 3, I'll do it at 4, I'll do it at 5, and then it's 10 o'clock at night and you still haven't worked out. That has definitely helped me anyway stay on track. My next piece of advice would be to stop depending on motivation to do things. And that applies to anything in life really. You can't always depend on waking up and feeling super motivated, because that's not always going to happen. Like there are days when the best athletes in the world don't feel motivated, but the most important thing is to put good habits in place, practice them every single day, and if you are practicing them daily, it will be very hard to break those habits. Every single day I do my 15 to 20 minutes cardio, 12,500 steps, and then I either have a rest day or a training day. And if I was to not follow my routine, it would put me off the same way it would put me off if I didn't have my morning coffee. You need to just really practice the same thing over and over again until it feels strange to not do it. As I said, none of us are motivated all the time, especially in times like this. A lot of us would lack motivation more than ever, myself included. It is not easy to stay super motivated when the shows are cancelled, we've no holidays to look forward to, we're not going to be on the beach anytime soon in our bikinis, and it's much easier now than ever before to just throw in the towel and start eating shit and not exercising. But guys, this is going to pass, and when this does pass, you have the decision to either be 10 steps behind where you were or else 10 steps forward with much better health and better habits in place that you will hopefully continue doing even when this passes. And I know it's easier said than done, guys. Building good habits and practicing something daily is not easy. It requires effort, and there are going to be days where you don't want to do it, but trust me, if you keep practicing these things, eventually you won't be able to imagine your day without it. My next tip for staying on track / staying in shape is whatever you can keep the same, keep the same. We are creatures of habit as humans, and we like doing the same thing over and over again, even though it does sound crazy, especially when it comes to the part of the day when you are about to work out. So when I'm training at the gym, I always have my pre-workout meal at the table, I set up my phone and I watch maybe a 10 to 15 minute YouTube video, I make my aminos and I head off to do my workout. And I do the exact same thing even when I'm at home. Even though I don't necessarily need to, you'll still find me changing into my workout gear, watching my YouTube video with my pre-workout meal and having my intra-workout shake, because I feel like if I were to just work out in a tracksuit pants and maybe like push off my pre-workout meal, it would definitely throw me off and it wouldn't feel like my normal daily routine. We are trying to keep whatever we can the same. So when it comes to my pre-workout routine, when it comes to my steps, and when it comes to my cardio, and when it comes to my food, those are all things that I still have control over, so I'm going to keep them the same, and it definitely helps. And my last little pointer, guys, is to remember that something is better than nothing. I am not going to sit here and tell you that home workouts are just as effective as gym workouts, because they're not. Unless you have an unbelievably well equipped home gym, then fair enough. But for the majority of us, we're just going to have some free weights, we're going to have some bands, and we're going to have to work with what we have. And that is never going to be as good as being in the gym. But that still doesn't mean it can't help you in some way. It's better to get in home workouts, still apply some resistance, and even if you can't progress, it's better to do something than to go backwards. It's a completely different scenario for like massive bodybuilders that are like 250 pounds upwards. These guys definitely need like massive weights and equipment to progress from home. But I feel like for us girls, like we don't lift that heavy in the first place. And once we're applying some resistance every day, once we're putting in some effort, and once we're staying on track with our food, we can still get great results from home. Yes, they're not going to be as good as what you could get in the gym, but it is still something, and it definitely stops you from going backwards, which will probably happen to a lot of people because they're saying, look, home workouts are shit and boring, I don't want to do them. And those are the people that will come out of this after genuinely losing all their gains. Okay guys, I am about to film a workout for you now. So even though it is my rest day today, I still kind of like to stay active anyway, and I wanted to add some value to the video by giving you something you can do at home yourselves. So I have a sandbag here. I showed you earlier that Apollo Fitness sent out some kettlebells, dumbbells, they sent out bands, and they also sent out a 20 kilo sandbag. So I haven't actually used it yet, so I'm going to test it out today for some leg movements, and I'm going to finish off with some abs as well. Okay guys, that is pretty much it from me today. I just wanted to get another video up to get me back into the swing of things, give you a little update, and I plan on doing a full day of eating for my next video, like a full day of eating when I'm at home all day, and show you what I'm eating now that I'm off prep again, even though it's pretty much the same. I'm not gonna lie, I still eat the same foods that I like, but let me know if that's something you'd like to see. But for now, I am about to start work. I'm gonna have a nice long bath, and I started watching Ozark on Netflix, and I'm like 3 episodes in and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm gonna watch maybe even 2 or 3 episodes of that tonight and chill out. But thank you so much for watching guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.